4 teams, 5 perspectives, 1 division, 1 war room. Welcome to West War Room Rivals, your home for everything AFC West. From breaking news and game day analysis to heated debates, bold predictions, and unforgettable guests. This is West War Room Rivals, where rivals collide. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to West War Room Rivals. This is a special Thursday night episode. I've got my comrades here in the war room. We have Ethan over there in the bottom corner and the Shoviks up top raising the roof. What's up, fellas?
What is going on?
If anyone missed it, we had our linebacker preview show last night, so go check that out. There's some clips circulating, but we have a special guest where we're going to be talking about another team that's not in the AFC West, but friend of the show. But I will say, like, this offseason has been very interesting. A lot of injuries, and then today we just had another, or I think 1 or 2 running backs get paid this today. So it's been a very, very interesting offseason playing out, to say the least. And injuries, of course, we've seen, but also a lot of hype, I would say, a lot of our team's camps with excitement. So I think this offseason just letting us know that football is just right around the corner, as the Hall of Fame game is playing tonight as well.
Right over here.
Yeah, according to Dove Kleiman, that guy on Twitter, he said Carson Beck is QB1. So
I've been seeing a lot of that. I've been seeing a lot of that, which is weird. Let's go ahead and take the Hall of Fame game into consideration when making this.
Yeah, I think I remember the last Hall of Fame game that there was the Chargers versus the Lions, and Austin got our Twitter page banned because he said Trey Lance was going to do a Colin Kaepernick on Justin Herbert. So
don't get our YouTube page banned as well.
Yeah.
In his, Trey Lance was playing it out of his ass that night, right?
Well,
so
it was the Hall of Fame.
But again, it's reminder, guys, it's the Hall of Fame game.
Right.
Haynes Kings actually looked really good for the Panthers too. So it's like,
that's true. But
it is the Cardinals. So I mean, take that for what it's worth.
And in my defense, I didn't say he was QB1. I just asked if we were going to see a Trey Lance Herbert situation like we saw Kaepernick and Smith, because it was also with Harbaugh. So like everything was lining up to where it was just a good conversation, I thought, but Twitter said, no, this page needs to go.
Yeah, I think Ethan's head would have popped off if that actually happened. So,
I mean, it never was, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, nobody was ever like, oh God, here comes Trey Lance. Oh man.
There's a reason he was getting paid $1.5 million that season. So
shiver me timbers, Trey Lance. Here we go. All right, guys, let's.
Hey, he's a good backup. Hey, don't be mean to Trey Lance. He's an all right backup. He's nice to him.
You know what? He's not better than AOC, so you watch yourself, sir.
He's not QB1, but he's a damn good backup. And we're not. Let's go the whole damn episode not bringing up AOC's name.
That's it.
For the love of God.
I'll start the new Chargers banner. Somehow the Chargers are going to trade Trey Lance for a 2nd round pick.
Actually, Ethan, book it now. Trey Lance, or hold it. Tanner McKee.
There we go. Great swap.
No picks thrown in there?
Just straight up.
All right. Well, speaking of straight up, we're going to get some sponsor shout outs, and we'll bring our special guests on to the war room. So JBW Solutions, Jeff and the team, thank you guys so much for your love and support. Go visit jbwsolutionsllc.com today for all safety regulations and compliance for your business. Also, a fellow Raider fan, Troy at Field Ops, shout out to you for being a day one supporter, and Angie and her team at Emporia State Federal Credit Union, who is the War Room's banking of choice. And now, without further ado, let's bring on tonight's special guest. He is the president of Boom Broadcasting, diehard Dallas Cowboy fans. We still praying for him anyways, but please welcome to the stage, Michael Davis. Oh, let's get you. There you are.
Damn, we should have been playing We Them Boys as he was coming onto the stage.
I don't think we own the copyrights to that. I don't want to.
You want right back? We right back.
Well,
no,
Cody, you could have just sang it.
There you go.
So, what's up, Ethan?
I was just saying you could have sang it.
Oh, no, yeah.
I don't know like that.
Got a little hoarse voice tonight, but hey.
Well, welcome to the show, Michael. This has been a long overdue appearance. You and I have known each other for a while. I know the Shoviks have known you through me, so this is kind of cool that you're on our show now. You've invited me on a bunch of times to Out of Pocket and other things that Boom is doing. So appreciate you for taking the time and joining us to talk some football.
Yeah, when you hit me up and mentioned this opportunity, I jumped on it, just knowing that I don't get to do shows with you that often, and really impressed with what you guys are building here with the West War Room Rivals. And the interviews you get to do. And I'm not even a fan of any of the AFC West teams, but it feels like your shows are must watch.
Well, that's really kind of you to say, man. Also, your wrestling shows are much watched. You do really good on the live streams, and the latest one, SummerSlam, did really, really good. So shout out to you and the Boom team for holding that down for the nights 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was a blast. I was very close on a few of my predictions, and yeah, it's much better than talking about 2019, 2020 SummerSlam.
Yeah, those were rough ones. All right, so Michael, for those that don't know you in the audience, we know you, but tell us who Michael is and tell us about Boom Broadcasting.
Yeah, well, I am living in North Carolina and do not root for any North Carolina pro sports teams. I root for my Dallas Cowboys, which I know we'll get to talk about a little bit. And outside the NFL, I love the Miami Heat. I do a Heat Talk podcast as well as the Dallas Cowboys podcast for Boom, and love the Duke Blue Devils. That's really the only stake in North Carolina that I do, as well as my alma mater with Appalachian State. I went to school at App State for broadcasting, and I graduated during COVID. And obviously, when COVID was happening, not a lot of people were hiring.
Yeah.
And I ended up having the opportunity to be on my buddy's radio show. It was an AM radio show, sports talk on Friday afternoon, remote a few times. And when he got a gig working with a minor league hockey team, there was the opening, and I was presented with the opportunity of taking that time slot and running with it. And the show evolved to eventually 4 days a week, and at pretty prime times, and did that for a couple years. Also took on the wrestling podcast, took on a Carolina Panthers podcast, and then at one point I was like, I don't like talking about the Panthers.
Not a lot to talk about.
This was the bad years to talk about. It was right before they drafted Bryce Young, and it was the year they gave up Caleb Williams. So it was rough to cover the Carolina Panthers. And so I was like, hey, I'm enjoying talking about my passions. I know a few other people who would love to do podcasts, and made Boom.
That's great. And honestly, I'm still questioning the Duke choice, but I'm not here to judge on that. But I am glad, as Cody said, it's been a long time making of trying to get you on here. We know life happens, and trust me, life still happens for us too. So we do appreciate you here tonight, and I think turn it over to Austin.
Yeah, man, I'm more accepting of a Cowboys fan than a Duke fan, and then you're both of them.
What?
Yeah, I gotta say, rock chalk over here. So
Duke KU big exhibition game announced this week, so that'll be fun at Allen Fieldhouse.
It'll be fun for me.
Yeah,
dude,
it probably
will be. Yeah, KU. I don't know what's happening to KU basketball, but that's no here or there.
I feel like I gotta cut in. What is the consistency with your sports teams? They're like, none of them are from the same state.
So if you lived in North Carolina, this would happen to you as well.
Oh, I went to school in North Carolina.
Where at?
I went to Elon University.
Oh, I know. What year did you graduate?
2020.
Pause. Okay. What was your major?
I was a history and political science major.
So you probably didn't have this guy. I know a guy named Dr. Kyrie Walker, and if you knew him, honestly, if you heard the name, you would have known exactly who I was talking about. But he's a professor. He used to play for Elon as well, and me and him worked at a summer camp together. So
Cool.
shout out Doc.
Fun fact,
So
Michael knows just about everybody in North Carolina. That's the running joke.
my wife gets on to me because we can't walk into Walmart. We can't walk into a coffee shop an hour away. We can't walk into the airport 2 hours away without seeing somebody that I know. True story, by the way.
Yeah.
So the consistency with my sports teams is the Dallas Cowboys and the Duke Blue Devils was influenced by my dad. I, just fell in love with the teams that he told me to fall in love with, and then that passion became my own. The only one I didn't follow him in is the Miami Heat, and that's because I loved Dwayne Wade. And anytime somebody's like, "You're a LeBron bandwagon," I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm still on the Heat Nation, and LeBron can go waste away in Philadelphia now.
No, and I get it because I'm Broncos, Royals, Jayhawks, and then Celtics because of Paul Pierce. Essentially, when I was a kid, Paul Pierce went from KU over to the Celtics, but I couldn't tell you the last time I actually watched a Celtics game. It's just I'm a fan by trade just because Paul Pierce ended up being there. Still a fan, nowadays. So I get that question all the time too when I'm doing TikTok lives. Like, what's that fan combination? It's just like you like who you like at the end of the day.
Yeah. So honestly, I was so close to being a Boston Celtics fan because my second favorite player, Ray Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, and then nobody can say he's a bandwagon fan. I mean, he's a Cowboys fan. So
he's loyal. That's what you know.
Stay true to who you like.
Right. But back to the boom a little bit, right? We want to spotlight that a little bit. What's your elevator pitch when it comes to boom broadcasting and, kind of your sales pitch for that?
When you say sales pitch, who am I talking to?
Anybody. You're talking to Aaron Andrews wanting her to join Boom Broadcasting Network.
Well, if we're talking to Aaron Andrews, want her to join Boom Broadcasting, that is completely different. So what I would say is Boom Broadcasting is a place that you can talk about your passions. This gives you an outlet. And a lot of our team members, they are in the same avenue I was, graduating with a broadcasting degree or a similar field and want to do this full time and help build their resume, their portfolio. And then there's other people who just never imagined that they could have the opportunity to have a platform and talk about their interests. And so giving people that outlet to where it doesn't subtract from your life, it adds to it, that gives me great joy in allowing that platform.
So what's your favorite part of running a podcast network?
My favorite part about running a podcast network, that I can give myself and other people creative control. And I'm never telling anybody you have to talk about this. Now, if something breaking news happens with, the Carolina Panthers, Aaron Schneider just started Black and Blue Blitz. So he's running the Panthers podcast for the network now. I'll be like, hey, dude, like this breaking news just happened. You may want to, hop on that. But I'm never forcing him to do a podcast. I'm never forcing him to talk about anything. And so, yeah, I don't like to be a very dictator type of person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't understand the behind the scenes and what it takes. I mean, we don't even have, we're just one show, but we are trying to branch off into our own little, team specific on top of that. But I think people don't understand like the behind those scenes stuff. Like we get the viewers, they're watching, but they don't do their own podcast. So it's kind of like trying to explain to them, there's so much more that goes into this. And we were just talking the other day about kind of defining roles a little bit more, just take some stuff off each other's plates. So yeah, man, it's one of those where when you live it, you kind of understand it, and it's just hard to explain sometimes.
Yeah, and especially these last couple months, we've worked really hard to get onto Spotify. So Boom Broadcasting has been around for a little over 2 years, and we were exclusive to YouTube. I mean, we would run live streams on Facebook on occasion, but I mean, we were exclusive YouTube, and now adding Spotify and adding more shows that are audio exclusive. I mean, it's been a grind. People ask me how my night was, and I'm like, well, I fell asleep around 2 a.m. and woke up at 7 to go to work.
Yep, I know, because he was texting me that late asking me questions. So yeah, I know he grinds about that late.
Well, Michael, what's your biggest lesson learned so far? What do you feel like is something that you could give wisdom to maybe us or to other people listening who want to start a podcast?
Okay, so my biggest lesson learned, that you're free to mess up, and it's not going to be the end of the world if you do mess up. And also, I would say family comes first. If you're not careful, and this is how my mind works, if you're not careful, you can have anything consume you. And when it starts to become unhealthy, like it's going to take a toll on your physical health, your mental health, It's going to take effect on people around you. Like I said, want to add to your life and not subtract it. Cody knows I was running maybe about 8 or 9 shows a week at the beginning of Boom, and that is a recipe for burnout. And so allowing myself the opportunity, which Cody does a great job of, and the rest of the team does as well, allowing me this opportunity. I recently got married back in December. Yesterday was 8 months. And
Nice.
so being able to pour into my wife and my family is also really important to me. So that's my biggest lesson.
Yeah, and you know more than anything, like Cody messes up a lot. So Cody, that was really directed at you.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, if anyone knows, it's Michael, right? So I feel like he was directly speaking to you on that.
Yeah.
I didn't insinuate anything. Cody, what size shoe are you?
Right. No, yeah. Being able to help Boom has been great. But yeah, there has been times where Michael's like, hey man, description here, I think you might want to take a look at it again. And that's happened a couple times. But again, I'm consistent at least everywhere else. So
I forgive you.
There you go. All right, Michael, let's talk about some Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. But that's why we brought you on, though, because, again, Dallas Cowboys have a very important season coming up. I'd say last season, a little lackluster. I mean, there's some encouragement, but still didn't happen as way I'm sure that you would wanted your Cowboys to do. So for this upcoming season, 2026, what do you think the record prediction will be for your Cowboys?
So I hate record predictions, just FYI. For so many reasons. You can sit here on August 6th and say, oh, I see win, loss, but you're thinking in the context of last season.
Mm-hmm.
How did they do last season? Every season's completely different. There are players who get hurt in preseason, in the first couple weeks. There are coaches that change, not only head coach level, but there are assistant coaches that leave for head coaching jobs, and people don't take those into account. I am releasing an episode of Defending Dallas tonight at midnight on Spotify, and I was starting to play that what's their record game, and with them announcing that they are not starting or they're not allowing any stars in the preseason to play, I feel like they're going to be off to a slower start, and I think that could hurt them. I would not be surprised if they were 2-2 to start the first month of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if they were 1-3. And then you're getting into the Packers and the Eagles, both games on the road. I don't think that's a recipe for success. And then you start to have a little bit easier schedule towards the back half. I mean, just from the context, we got the Arizona Cardinals, who's the quarterback for them. I feel like I hear something new every day. The Indianapolis Colts on the road. I mean, it's Jonathan Taylor and who else? The San Francisco 49ers are dropping like flies, but they always play the Cowboys tough. You got the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward in his second year. Is he going to evolve? Eagles, they always split. And then, honestly, the only 2 games I'm really concerned about the back half of the year is Seattle on the road and the LA Rams on the road. And then you finish up with the Jags, Giants, and then the Commanders. So if I had to put a record to it, I think this team has a great offense and should have a better defense than last year. Just off that alone, and knowing it's the Cowboys, I can completely see a 10-7 record.
That's so wild to me that, obviously Shoddy's going into a second season as a head coach. It does shock me a little bit that he's not going starters in the preseason because, obviously we know Marty's his dad and kind of that old school, things changed last year and they were very upfront with it. So it kind of surprises me that he's kind of going the no starters in the preseason route when you see a lot of the old school coaches that are still the Andy Reid, Sean Payton, all those guys. Then the flip side of that, McVay's, all these younger offensive minded coaches are like, nah, they don't need to play in the preseason. I don't like that idea.
I don't like it either because you're not in midseason form week 1. So you may lose like 2 or 3 meaningful games, especially with Dallas. They start with the Giants. It's a division game. It's John Harbaugh's first game as the Giants head coach. What are they going to do? The Washington Commanders right after that, again, a division game. And then you have the Ravens, which Dallas has never played well against running quarterbacks. And then you add on top of that Derrick Henry, who the Cowboys refused to even acknowledge when Henry was a free agent. And then you have Houston. I mean, you have Houston, which I feel like the Texans always play like it's their Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys. So all of a sudden you're like, you could win both of those division games, but even at that point, you might be sitting at 2-2, and those 2 losses in this division might cost you the playoffs. So I don't love the idea, especially.
Can I object a little bit here? All right, the playing the starters thing, that makes no difference. Sean McVay has the best September record out of any head coach right now. He's 21-8. He has a 750 winning percentage. And he doesn't play any starters.
They still don't start off very quickly, though, right?
I mean, yes, they do. They've won 3/4 of their games. Like, saying they don't start off, it doesn't matter whether they start quickly. They're winning the games.
Okay.
Sweet. I stand by what I say. I don't like the idea of not playing your starters in the preseason. I'm going to stick with that.
You're also comparing them to the Rams and the Cowboys. Like, it just matters different when it's the Cowboys. The Rams have a winning culture. The Cowboys, when they play poorly, it's all over the media. It's all over the locker room. It starts to weigh the players down.
Yeah, you're trying to build your team back up.
And especially for Dallas this year, offensively, I don't care so much that they don't play those guys. Dallas has returned all 11 starters on offense. Defense, it's a brand new system, brand new guys. They're even considering not playing Caleb Downs as a rookie. So his very first snap in the NFL might be week 1. That you just can't play like that. You can't be so risky with that, especially 2 division games at the beginning of the season. Like, yeah.
And it's not like we'll see it's not like Andy Reid has Patrick Mahomes playing 3 quarters. Sean Payton has his guys playing 3 quarters. There's a couple series, knock rust off, get hit a couple times, call it a day.
That's what I want. Just a series. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Especially for a rookie.
Yeah, I'm impartial to it. I think you either have a good team or you don't. Like Andy Reid usually plays and he starts out quick, but he's also had just really good teams and really good quarterbacks. I mean, throughout his career, right? Almost the same could be said for McVay, but I think you're good or you're bad. I would prefer like what Chiefs have done with Patrick Mahomes. They come out, they literally play 1 drive and they're done, but at least you're getting a little bit of reps. So I'm impartial to it. I think you're either going to be good or you're not. I do think you should play rookies a little bit. I sure as heck don't want their first snap to be week 1 meaningful game, right? Like, even if you want to play them 3 snaps or so, like 1 snap, go cover deep center field, like just feel an NFL game before week 1. But I'm impartial to that part. But I think we're going to go next question for the Cowboys. What do you think they need to do or what will happen in order for them to overperform?
When you say overperform, what are you saying for that?
Be good. No, so basically overperform what you think, like a 10-win team, like overperform. How do you think they get to like 13, 14 wins? Like, what has to happen?
This is going to be the easiest answer of all time. They have to play defense. I mean, we saw it last year. Dallas was, honestly, up until the last couple weeks where it was like, okay, like we're not making it anywhere. Let's sit all our guys and make sure they're, starting the offseason early. We were the number 1 offense in the NFL, but we were dead last in almost every defensive category. And that can't happen again. Like, that's why you bring in Christian Parker, who took Kenyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean as rookies and made them all-pro players for Philadelphia. Like, nobody saw that coming. Philly's secondary was a big weakness when Christian Parker came in. So, yeah, you just honestly, you just need like middle of the pack to be a playoff team. But if Christian Parker gets these guys motivated, I mean, they got some dudes now. You got Quinnen Williams, who everybody acknowledges as top 3 defensive tackle, defensive lineman in the NFL.
Wait, what do you mean everyone acknowledges that?
Everyone acknowledges that.
No, he is not the number 3 defensive tackle in the league. Wait.
I said top 3. I said top 3.
So which implies he's either 1, 2, or 3, and he's not.
Quinnen Williams?
He is not a top 3 defensive tackle in the league right now.
Do you want to look up the poll that execs took the execs took this past week and where Quinnen Williams ranked in terms of defensive tackles?
Okay, where was he on the list?
He was
he wasn't. Leonard Williams was.
He was.
No, Leonard Williams was. Okay, I'll pull it up, but Leonard Williams was number 1.
All right, let's continue your response, Michael, and then Ethan, we'll let you get in on it.
Ethan's going to be wrong. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to make him look silly on his own show.
This is great.
But yeah, DeMarvion Overshone has to stay healthy.
Okay, are you ready? Leonard Williams, number 1, just like I said. Do you want me to send you the list? Jeffrey Simmons, number 2. Jalen Carter, number 3. Chris Jones, number 4. Derek Brown, number 5. Quentin Williams, number 6.
Where did you
while we're looking that up, and again, sorry guys for the pauses, but Christian Parker, I do love Christian Parker. I was actually sad that Denver let him slip out when Vic Fangio obviously had him as his defensive back coach, and then he obviously took him over to Philadelphia as well with him too. So I love that hire when the Cowboys did bring him on as a D coordinator, because he's a head coach in the making. I do think he's very, very quickly on his way to being a head coach, and it's actually one that I thought Philly may try to like kind of hide. You know, Vic Fangio is obviously getting older, and he's obviously Christian Parker's just been kind of that secondary whisperer. Obviously, what he was able to do with PS2 while he was with Denver as well. So, yeah, love the Christian Parker hire.
Well, I'll say this: like, he's not even doing the Vic Fangio defense. He's like, this is my own thing. And so you can see he's put a lot of thought into what that defense will be. And I really hate when coaches or coordinators like Matt Eberflus last year comes in and just is like, hey, you're going to play my system, and I don't care how you play. But Christian Parker, it seems like he's taking a deliberate approach to using the strengths of his players. And I think that's going to make a difference.
Yeah. And so with now the flip side of this, the underperformed, like I kind of think I know where you're going to go with this. So like you obviously said at 10 was your prediction with wins. Let's say they only get to, you know, seven-ish wins. And what do you think the reason would be in that case?
Honestly, offensive line play. The game is won, lost in the trenches, and the strength of this team was the offense. Like the only way we won any games last year is because Dak would sometimes put up 30, 40 points. But if Tyler Guyton struggles again this year, it's going to be ugly. Terrence Steele is known to struggle, and that's your left and right tackles. So, and also like Javonte Williams had a breakout year. I mean, Broncos, like he never eclipsed 1,000 yards. Dallas signs him for like a 1-year, $3 million deal. And I was like, this is a horrible signing. Like we signed Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders last year and didn't get the chance to draft Ashton Genty. I was like, what are we doing with our lives? And Javonte just goes lights out. And I think part of that was he could stay healthy and the offensive line was good. And that also allowed Dak time to get the ball to playmakers like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Yeah, I still love Javonte, and I'm happy to see that he was able to move on and do well. I thought Denver rushed him back a few times. So, yeah, but again, I could tell you how many times I was looking at the box scores and would see Javonte kind of doing his thing, and it's kind of one of those where I'm like, I was happy for him.
Y'all,
So,
there's
Michael,
a poll on the screen right now. Before I'll let you continue, Ethan. But there's a poll on the screen right now about if the preseason matters or not. So if you guys are watching, go ahead and participate in the poll.
What about my answer?
It doesn't matter.
That's fair enough.
whether it matters or not. For those listening on audio, the poll he put up is, does starters playing in the preseason matter? So if you want to think to yourself whether yes or no, I think it does not, just for the record. But Michael, my question for you, and sorry for interrupting you, I just couldn't let that slip. Michael, my question for you is, how do they top the Eagles? The Eagles have been kind of the kings of the AFC East for the last couple of years. They built a very strong team. So how does Dallas finally get over that hump and kind of take the crown?
I was very shocked. We haven't had a repeat division winner in the NFC East since Donovan McNabb was the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. To tell you how long ago that was, I feel like Philadelphia takes a step back just in general. Saquon Barkley gets older. A.J. Brown departs. Devontae Smith now has to be the number one. How fast can you get Mekhi Lemon up there? And the defense lost a couple key players. Nakobe Dean was a huge loss. I was really hoping he would follow Christian Parker. He didn't, but he went over to the Las Vegas Raiders. Thanks for that, Cody.
Dark side. Yes, you're welcome.
Yep, very much to the dark side. But I don't think Philadelphia is going to be like the big threat that everybody thinks they are.
Yeah, I look at it as the defense does. I love Vic Fangio and what he's able to do. I still think they have the pieces on the defense. I do think at the end of the day, it's going to fall squarely on the offense and what Jalen Hurts can do. I still think it's a Nick Sirianni issue. I stand by that. I've been saying that for quite a while. They have a new offensive coordinator, so we'll see. I do like the Stowers pickup that they have also. So they have a couple young guys on offense that, can they get them up and running as well? So it'll be very interesting to see how that offense does prevail with, losing a guy like A.J. Brown, who, let's be honest, is probably a breath of fresh air in that locker room.
That's probably the only reason. Sorry. That's probably the only reason they move off of him is because of the locker room.
Oh, yeah. And I still love that defense. I think they're okay at linebacker still with Bond and Jihad Campbell. And they picked up Reek Woolen to improve an already stacked corner room. But I think the defense is going to have to carry because, like you said, that offensive line and Saquon, they kind of lost it last year. Who knows if they can regain form? Whether you liked him in the locker room or not, A.J. Brown was still a threat. You still had to account for him. So now, you have to see how quick you can get Mekhi Lemon up. So I do think the defense has to carry. I don't think they're going to be a juggernaut like everyone thinks, like you expect. I still have to think they're the favorites, but I don't think the gap is as large as everyone's making it out to be.
Cody, you're always honest with me. Like, come on. Tell me if the Eagles are a threat.
Well, these guys know what my prediction was when we covered the NFC East, and you'll never believe it.
He picked the Giants.
No, I picked your Cowboys because I figured the Eagles were going to regress as well. I felt like the Nick Sirianni drama. Now, granted, their defense hasn't gotten any worse, but I figured with losing A.J. Brown, that's still a big player to lose. And Corey has pointed this out throughout the majority of the offseason that he feels like the Eagles have a Sirianni problem. And I feel like that this is the kind of the season where they hit that wall. And I feel like what Brian Schottenheimer did to make this offense play above what they are capable of, and if this defense shows up, they could be a team that takes the East if the Eagles regress. So that was my prediction for when we did the NFC East. Don't smirk too much, though. I might change that answer later tonight.
I just wanted you to say it again.
Well, I'm more confused. You don't think the Eagles are a threat at all?
Not that they're not a threat at all. If you want to look at it,
you think this is the Cowboys' division to lose, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you
and
just talked about how you're concerned about their defense and that you don't fully believe in it.
well, I don't, because we've never seen them play. But
Yeah, but
I
we
do.
have proof
I
of
do.
concept that the Eagles are a very good team. Like, it's not that I disagree with you. I picked Dallas to win the division. I'm more just like pointing out. I guess I'm confused of. So why do you think Philly's going to fall so much?
Well, Corey said one Nick Sirianni. I feel like that's been Band-Aid the last 3 years. I feel like Sirianni's been on the verge of getting fired, and then all of a sudden they rattle off 3 very miraculous wins and they stay. But also, like, you lose your top weapon in A.J. Brown. Saquon Barkley got outperformed by Javonte Williams last year. And there's also been injury concerns as well when it comes to the offense. So, yeah, I'm not saying they won't be capable of winning the division. I think everybody knows that's the Washington Commanders. But if I had to rank this division right now, I would go Cowboys, I would go Eagles, I'd go Giants. And honestly, depending on Malik Neighbors and his health, may even put Giants at 2.
What?
Interesting. All right. So, Michael, what is your favorite Cowboys game you've ever watched in your time of being a fan?
Do VHS tapes count?
Hell yeah.
Hold on, Michael. Do you know what a VH tape is?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Are you above age for that?
I am above age for that.
Okay. I'm just making sure you're on the younger side. I just want the audience to recognize.
Hey, I remember Hollywood Video. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
remember Blockbuster? Be Kind, Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
that was our Friday nights.
Hollywood Video.
One movie.
Hollywood Video was much more important back when I was a kid. So what I would do is there was a particular WrestleMania that I would literally go rent it, and then I would drop in the slot, and then I would beg, hey, is there a WrestleMania in there? And I would always like re-rent the WrestleMania, the same WrestleMania. And then a couple WCW pay-per-views, but my favorite one, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it does stand out to me when the Dallas Cowboys retired Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, beating them in the wild card round. I don't know if there's a favorite that sticks out, but man, that was fun. Like, everybody hates Tom Brady. I recognize he is the GOAT. But how cool is it when people are hating on the Cowboys, just be like, hey, we retired Tom Brady. So by default, you have to like us.
I hate the Cowboys just because not you, but most of their fans are they kind of crack me up. So I don't even know if I actually just don't. I hate's a strong word. I don't like using that. I just think it's kind of funny seeing the reactions week 1 to like week 4, just kind of seeing, okay, like, is it, or they have like a big win, and it's kind of like one of those. It's like, oh God, are the Cowboys actually going to do this? It's like, is this going to be the game where they kind of figure it out? Luckily, most of the time, no. But it is kind of funny. It's just like any other fan base, right? Like, you have your ups, you have your downs. It's just, I don't know, it's something about the Cowboys and their fans that everyone seems to, kind of poke at and get after a little bit.
If anyone's watching and they're a Cowboys fan, this isn't directed towards you, but there are times where Cowboys fans irritate me. So if you're watching this, it's not you, but yeah.
I think every fan base has a small collection of within their own fan base that annoy them. So I think we've discovered that. All right, Ethan, you've got the next segment's question.
Yeah, so let's get into it a little bit. This has been what's hyped up, which is actually why I've been playing up a little bit more of my antagonistic side, which is we're going to get into the Herbert versus Dak situation here, which I just think, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, and I just feel like we got to talk about it. So if we were starting a franchise today, Are you still taking Dak Prescott over Justin Herbert?
Okay. First of all, I think Dak Prescott is a lot better quarterback than Justin Herbert. I fully believe that Justin Herbert is overrated. They change the weighted scales when they talk about Dak Prescott and like lack of playoff success, and then they turn a blind eye to Justin Herbert for doing absolutely nothing. And he had some pretty great defenses, especially in recent years, and he still does nothing. So I think Dak Prescott, especially as a MVP candidate a couple years ago, and I feel like if Dallas had playoff success this past year, Dak would have been again an MVP candidate. But you threw an interesting wrench into this. Dak Prescott just turned 33 years old. Justin Herbert is 28. If I'm starting a franchise and I obviously feel like, okay, it's going to be a few years before we win, then I would take Justin Herbert just because of the age default and hope I can build a team around him. But I know I have to build a team around him. If I have a franchise that I feel like we can go win a championship or compete for a championship this year, I'm taking Dak all the way.
All right, I'm not going to let any of this slide. We need to break this down. Okay, so why is Justin so overrated? Is because of playoff success? Is that your argument?
Well,
why else is he overrated?
You just compare what Justin Herbert versus Dak Prescott has done. Justin Herbert is the NFL's golden boy.
According to who?
According to everybody who glazes as a top 5 quarterback. Justin Herbert's done nothing to prove anything of the sort. Well, what was his QBR last year?
In the regular season?
Yeah.
It was 96.
His QBR, not his passer rating.
Oh, we're going off ESPN stats?
Oh, yeah, we are.
Their made-up algorithm? That's what we're doing? All right. I can go look it up.
60.6 for the conversation.
And then what was Dak's? I don't even look at QBR because QBR means nothing to me.
70.2.
Okay.
All right. What about passer rating? Who had the higher passer rating? Dak.
Are we just talking last year?
Well, I mean,
or are we talking career-wise? Because your argument is that he's overrated. Are we just talking about last year, or
he is overrated? But your question also asks, like, if I'm starting today, like,
yeah, I know, and you said Justin, but then I went back to our claim here because you said that he's overrated.
Has Herbert ever been in the MVP conversation?
Yes.
He got a vote last year.
A vote.
He got more votes than Dak.
A vote. Even
does
though
Dak have one?
Prescott had a better year last year.
Okay, but does Dak have one?
It was a couple years ago.
Okay.
Dak finished second in the MVP and 6th.
I just want to point out this is the career stats for both players because I did this the first time we were supposed to get together. So Dak Prescott's completion percentage for his career, 66.9. Justin Herbert's is 66.5. I'm not going to throw the yards in there because there's like a 11,000 yard difference, and that's just because
give
Dak's
the average.
Younger.
What's the average per game?
Well, I didn't break down the average.
Okay,
here,
no worries.
But anyway, so passer rating, because I think that's the only important stat. So Dak is at 98.3, and then Justin Herbert's 96.3. In my opinion, they're the same player. They're got virtually the same stats, virtually the same touchdown interception ratio. In my opinion, they're the same player. And I don't know Shovic's like, I'm not saying that they're not good in their own different respects, but like when I'm looking at stats and what they're doing, they're the same player. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on that.
The only thing that differentiates it for me is Dak's actual playoff performances.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dak's numbers in the playoffs himself as a performer has been better than Herbert's. Neither team's necessarily had winning success in the playoffs, and that's what I say about Josh Allen. Like, he doesn't win them, but if you look at his performance, like, he's proven he can perform in the playoffs. Like,
mm-hmm.
The dude went toe to toe with the prime Chiefs offense and had a lead with 13 seconds left. Like, that's not on him for blowing that. That's the only difference for me. I always say, depends who we're talking about, that Justin Herbert is the Dak of the AFC. So I agree that I do think they're basically the same quarterback. At this point, I just like Dak Prescott's performances himself in playoffs. Because I do agree, like regular season, I don't care who you give me. I think we're going to finish the same.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, through their minimal playoff experiences for both of them, Dak has at least performed better individually.
All right.
And sorry, for me, it's also the same. Like we made the joke about this for a while now about them being kind of the same quarterback. But again, I have no preference on either one of them. I respect both. I like Justin Herbert just because I know what he's done. And I look forward to, obviously the matchups we have with Justin Herbert every year. Denver has kind of had success against Dak, obviously last year. They kind of shut that offense down just a tad, a little bit surprising to me, actually, with how that Cowboys offense was kind of stacked up. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of just whoever you like at that point. So I don't fault Ethan for liking Justin Herbert, and I don't fault Michael for liking Dak Prescott. I would question both of you if you were opposite. And
let's ask a guy who's never had a quarterback in his entire life. Cody, which one are you liking?
Well, let's see. They're literally.
Whoa, he had AOC.
Derek Carr.
Oh,
I mean, he was never to the level that. I mean, he was probably compared to Dak a lot, just because I don't know, they like to put them in comparison with one another. But I think it depends on what you're looking for. Like, Dak is a bigger quarterback. Justin Herbert has a super strong arm. You're really splitting hairs, in my opinion. If I was starting a franchise, if I started with either one, like to Austin's point, you're probably going to finish the season the same way. It's not like you're picking Patrick Mahomes against like a Dak Prescott or anything. Like, I don't think there's that big of a gap between talent between the two. It's really a wash between the two, in my opinion. I think Dak gets a lot of flack for his game sometimes because I think he's on the Cowboys. But I think Justin Herbert, for early part of his career, has had a lot of revolving coaches and playbooks. And so, like, this is the season to see, like, is Justin Herbert that guy? And I think they each are literally having to defend against the same criticism.
So I mean, we can talk about Justin Herbert's shitty postseason, success and whatnot and all of this, but then we can flip this over onto Dak. Like, Dak plays good most games, but when his turnovers are so bad, like, you can look at the box score and you can see, he threw for 330, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but those 2 interceptions were at the worst possible time, right? Like, it's one of those where it's like, hey, we need a big play right here. You're trying to go down and get in field goal range and or get the game-winning touchdown, and you have Dak who tries to do a little too much, and he's turning the ball over. It's an interception. It's a fumble. It's one of those where he's trying to be a hero. So it's kind of like there's not a perfect quarterback in the NFL, guys. Like, we can sit here and we can tuggy on what we want, and we can do all these other things, but at the end of the day, like, they are who they are. They're going to have their faults. We can talk about QBRs. We can talk about stats. Justin Herbert this, Dak Prescott that. So it's just one of those where, again, I'm going to stick with it's your preference. Like, I don't think you're upset if you have either one of them as your starting quarterback. Well, unless you're the Chiefs and, obviously you're downgrading from Patrick Mahomes to one of those guys. But, Denver, yeah, we would take either one of those. I wanted Dak Prescott when he was coming out, and then he had that DUI, so he kind of slipped in the draft. So, and then obviously, yeah, I would take Justin Herbert also. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun argument, but for the sake of it, it's just one of those where it is, who's your preference?
Yep. All right, Corey, you have the next question. So let's get through this section because we have a segment specifically for you, Michael, that it'll be a fun little game that you get to pick. So, Corey, you got the next one.
Yeah, I like this one because it's like, pick your poison with it. Like, do you want the corner, Pat Surtain, or do you want the receiver and CeeDee Lamb?
Ooh. Oh, okay. Pause. I have to clarify.
No pause.
Well, I have to clarify this.
Go ahead.
Okay. Are we if I'm taking CD or Surtain, is it player for player, or is it I'm adding Surtain to the current Cowboys and
I
I'm
would say
losing
player
Lamb?
for player.
It's player for player.
Yeah.
I love CD, but I might go Surtain.
I was going to question you. I felt like this one was like, no disrespect to CD. I thought he was the best receiver in that draft, and he just fell to Dallas. You guys have a stud, but there's very few people in the entire league I'm taking over Surtain.
And
If you eliminate quarterbacks.
And I'm one who thought Denver messed up big time by passing on CD and going Jerry Jeudy. So, like, we could have had both of them.
I'm so glad you didn't. No, I love CD, and he is very underrated when it comes to talking about the top receivers in the NFL. But when you have a shutdown corner like Pat Surtain, I mean, and it's a passing league. If to trust a guy to lock down the other team's top receiver is so huge. And so Dallas really hasn't had that because they had Trayvon Diggs, who was very flashy when he got interceptions, but when he got burned, he got burned.
Big time.
We traded up for Morris Claiborne to be that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs legend.
Yeah. So for Dallas, if they were to get a player of Surtain's caliber, I mean, that helps your whole defense. Because then with a guy locking up the best receiver, you're giving that defensive line, who may be a little lackluster depending on your roster setup, you're giving them a better chance to get home.
Yeah,
But
we'll get you.
but wide receivers, I mean, we've seen it so many times. I mean, Megatron, like Megatron didn't add to the win total in Detroit. And if he did, it was very rare and it wasn't much postseason success. So defense can win championships.
Absolutely. We'll give you an easy one here. Cowboys offensive line or Chiefs defensive line?
Chiefs defensive line.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Quentin Williams. I mean, outside
No, it's Cowboys offensive line versus Chiefs defensive line.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I read that wrong. I apologize.
No. You have Chris Jones.
Sweet. Thanks, man. Let's move to the next question. Let's not give it to
he also said early on in the show, like, about his concerns with said offensive line. So,
That's
like,
true.
I get where you're coming from on this.
I think they're young, aren't they?
Yeah, and honestly, our best players are kind of younger. You have Tyler Booker and Tyler Smith, but I mean, Cooper Beebe I have questions about. I think we downgraded when we let Tyler Biadasz walk to Washington with Dan Quinn. Tyler Guyton, there's been rumors about him being benched just 2 years after he was a first-round pick. Terrence Steele, I'm still petitioning for him to be moved on. There's a lot of questions when it comes to the Cowboys' offensive line.
Yeah, this isn't the old one.
I was going to say,
with like Travis Frederick and Zach Martin and Smith. Like, it's not that one. I got to remember that it hasn't been that for a while now.
It might be because my standards are so high, but like the only one on that offensive line who's playing to that caliber is Tyler Smith.
Yeah,
and Tyler Booker's still learning, and he might turn out to be great. But I mean, it's Tyler Smith elevating this team. If he goes out, it's bad news.
Yeah, but you could say that for any team. I mean, Tyler Smith's probably the best guard in the entire league, to be quite honest.
He is up there, yeah.
Like, it's like if you talk about Denver's defense, like, oh, if Pat Surtain gets hurt, are they taking a downgrade? Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, he's the best player on their offense. Like, if we're being honest, he's the best player on Dallas's offense.
Anyways, Cody, you're up.
Speaking of best player on Dallas's offense, so Michael, would you pick George Pickens or Brock Bowers?
Oh, I'm taking George Pickens.
What?
That one's a little crazy to me. That's the first one.
With that hothead, Brock Bowers literally would change your offense.
Would he?
Yes.
Yeah.
You add him with CeeDee Lamb. You add Brock Bowers with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Like,
well, you can't have.
Oh, yeah,
No, you wouldn't have George Pickens.
But you would still, again, I think even with like your third receiver, which I know that is it
Ryan Flournoy.
Flournoy, yeah, he obviously was some big games there towards the back end of last season. I don't know if that had anything to do with injuries or whatnot, but yeah, I mean he could be serviceable. And then you add Brock Bowers, I think that opens up so much more.
So we saw what the Dallas Cowboys could do with George Pickens, but we also saw what George Pickens could do when he actually had a quarterback throwing to him. I mean, Pittsburgh didn't have the cream of the crop. He never got Ben Roethlisberger in his prime. Like he got bottom of the barrel quarterbacks. They got Kenny Pickett.
Hell yeah,
Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
He's not that great. I pick Pickens over Pickett. But even with CD Lamb on the team, George Pickens finished first in pretty much every category: catches, targets, yards, touchdowns, had 9 touchdowns. I mean, he rated at the top of the league, and he can move the chains with 73 first downs last year for the Dallas Cowboys. And that's what you got to do as a wide receiver, moving the chains. That was 4th, or actually tied 3rd in the league with Jamar Chase. The only ones higher were Jackson Smith and Jigba and Puka Nacua, the 2 top options. So the fact that Dak Prescott could trust George Pickens with just a year or even less than a year playing with him, man, and it's a shame because the Cowboys probably are not going to be able to retain George Pickens next year, but he's going to be paid by some team, and Dallas is probably going to get a 3rd round compensatory pick for it.
Why would they not be able to? Also, they should definitely trade him if they're not going to. He'd get a lot more than a 3rd round pick. They should tag and trade him. Why do you think they can't retain him?
You're paying 2 top receivers that money. I mean, look what Zay Flowers just got from Baltimore. And George Pickens made the comment this week. He's like, yeah, I'm in that range, maybe even a little more. I mean, you can't pay Lamb and Pickens, and you're also paying Dak.
Why not? The Bengals are doing it.
Yeah, see how that turned out.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's
entire defense go.
I mean, that's true, but you don't get rid of George Pickens is too good of a player to let walk out the door, I guess is my argument. But we don't need to get into it.
Ethan, on Madden, you can turn the salary cap off. That way you can stack your team if you want.
Hell yeah.
But
It's the only way
that's not how it works.
That's the only way to do it.
I mean, a lot of teams make it work. I don't think you let. I think you're more likely to let CeeDee Lamb go at this point than you are to let George Pickens go.
Ooh, that'd be rough.
That I could actually see happening also.
I
think that would be a better option. Yeah, I mean, at some point,
Lamb walk and then keep Pickens.
Maybe
you trade
him.
But still, though, you're keeping Pickens over CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I would be nervous for Pickens on just how he can be on the team, depending on.
That's the point. That's what makes it a business. That's what you got. You take chances. You got to make those decisions, and we see teams have to make tough decisions all the time. I mean,
sure,
you can sit here and cash strap yourself with all these players that you want. It's going to come back and bite you in the ass at some point. So, but yeah, I mean, I would see CeeDee Lamb probably getting moved before. I mean, but again, George may just price himself out of Dallas too.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen is George Pickens, to his credit, is not creating any drama. He had a reputation in Pittsburgh. He's had the exact opposite reaction in Dallas. He's actually become a locker room favorite among a lot of teammates. That's the reports I'm hearing. And he's really changing the perception he has around the league. And honestly, Pittsburgh receivers for a while didn't get a great rep either. Shout out Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. But no, I mean, I'm going to be happy for George. He's going to play his heart out this year. I don't know if he finishes top 3 in the NFL in receiving again, but I mean, hey, I'm happy with him, play another year out in Dallas. He gave it a 2-year shot, and I think we gave up a 4th round pick for him anyway. So we basically would have moved from a 4th to a 3rd.
Yeah. I mean, but they'll definitely tag and trade him in that scenario. Why would you not? You can get better compensation for sure. A team will give up a 1 for George Pickens.
Nobody's come knocking about that 1 yet.
I mean, because they haven't been open for business. At least that's everything I'm seeing. Is it different? Are they shopping him?
I've not heard of them like actively shopping him, but I mean that doesn't stop a team in the NFL calling him, being like, "Hey, would you give up this?" But hey, trade deadline, maybe something to watch out for.
All right, Ethan, go on to the last question for this segment.
Yeah. Do we want to skip it and just get into our buy and sell?
Yeah, let's roll.
Yeah, let's just get into it. So I designed this segment for you, which is called buy, hold, or sell. So each of us are going to give you 2 different takes. You're just going to give us a simple, do you buy the take, do you hold the take, or do you sell the take? So do you think it's something that's going to happen? Are you kind of on the fence, or do you think it's something that's not going to happen? So we're going to each give you one related to our teams, and then we're going to give you one that is related to Dallas. So Corey's actually going to kick us off, and I wrote all these. So Corey, I did this one kind of intentionally.
Yeah.
But you can change it if you want. But
No.
You're up first.
Yeah. Do you see Bo Nix struggling in year 3?
Sell.
Chiefs.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I really like Bo Nix. I really do. I think that's a sell. And you add Jalen Waddle too.
I agree.
Yeah, Chiefs have their first 1,000-yard running back since Mahomes has been the quarterback.
I'll sell that. A lot of hype from the Super Bowl.
Justin Herbert finishes top 3 in MVP voting.
So I'll be able to sell really good stock because there's a lot of people who would buy that. No, I'm selling that.
I mean, he's number 2 in odds right now.
Okay, those odds will change.
All right. Will the Raiders win more than 7 games this season? Now, Michael, when you answer this,
Michael?
my contribution to Boom is hanging on this answer.
If it's hanging on the answer, I'll hold.
Denver's defense finishes top 5.
I'll buy that. Yeah, they've done it in the last couple of years. Why would they stop now?
I agree. This is
You
easy.
guys are getting some solid arguments on that. Dallas has a better record than all 4 AFC West teams.
Yeah, I'm selling that. I mean, yeah, especially with the AFC West, sometimes they bring in 3 10-win teams. Yeah.
And then the Raiders.
Hey,
I'll say it since you're not letting him. I'll say it for him.
Dallas has the best wide receiving core in the league.
I'm buying that.
all right.
I would expect every fan to think, yeah, I mean, the only argument I would put is the Bengals, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I think the Rams is also a conversation. Puka
I
and
would take the
Devontae.
Bengals over the Rams.
I mean, I would too. I'm just throwing
Yeah,
out
I
another
mean,
team.
that's 3 solid teams with solid receiving cores right there. So, final one in this one, Michael, Quinnen Williams will be a top 3 defender in the AFC West, or would be a top 3 defender.
I need you to repeat that.
Quinnen
For Ethan.
Williams would be a top 3 defender in the AFC West.
No.
I would buy that. I would legitimately buy that. He actually came into Dallas last year, and we were horrible. And our run defense improved drastically for that. So the only bad thing is Dak would put up a lot of points, and then people were like, "Hey, we don't need to run the ball; we need to pass it," and we didn't have corners. So, yeah, I would buy Quinn Williams as a top 3 player in the AFC West.
Okay.
I gotta say, what a crazy coincidence that we had that spat earlier, and I wrote that before the show. It's like I knew it was gonna happen. I was telling the future.
Let's get into the AFC West here. So, who's your favorite AFC West player, and why is it Justin Herbert?
My favorite AFC West player? I wish I had like an obscure person for you, but I really like Surtain. I really like Bo Nix. I really want Nakobe Dean. I respect Patrick Mahomes. Not so much Travis Swift.
Oh yeah,
It's a
But
billionaire now.
I wouldn't be mad if I was him.
yeah. No, living out every man's dream.
if there is not a player I'm like just blanking on, and I'm like, oh, that would be my player, I'd actually give it to Omarion Hampton. I
Wow.
really wanted Dallas to draft him, and that's coming from a Duke fan because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to
Because-
UNC.
because I was at that Duke UNC football game where UNC was up 20-0 at Duke, and Duke came back and won 21-20. And for some reason, and I'm so thankful they did, they stopped feeding the ball to Omarion Hampton. And
Not the Derrick Henry thing. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right. So for the AFC West, how do you think the standings will shake out?
Let's just go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. Raiders will finish 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Cody.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done.
I mean, he's used to it. He's fine.
He's
I'm going to go crash out real quick, you guys. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
I'm gonna go third Chargers.
I'm-
I feel like the Jim Harbaugh Justin Herbert pairing won't pan out, and Kansas City Travis Kelce is either going to be old and not able to move, or Rashee Rice is going to get suspended.
That's more likely.
So I think Denver's at the top this year.
That's smart. I applaud your standings.
All right, Michael. I'll let you go out on a high note, and I'll let you have this one, and I won't say anything. What's your AFC hot take? So if you had something for the AFC West or just the AFC in general, what would be your hot take? And you can make it about Herbert. I won't get my feelings hurt.
I mean, I feel like I've, hindered you a lot right now. Okay, I don't think it's a hot take, and I did a show for Boom called Out of Pocket, so I would say this isn't out of pocket. New England's going to be so bad this year. It's not even funny. Did you see their strength of schedule last year? They were the easiest cakewalk to the Super Bowl I have ever seen. And it was because Patrick Mahomes was also not in the playoffs. So, and they got Denver when Bo Nix went out. Like it was the easiest cakewalk. New England and Drake May are overrated. And my not out of pocket take, they win max 4 games this year.
Oh,
What?
Max.
that's steaming.
And 2 of those might be against the Dolphins. So they even
I mean, they
count.
play the Jets 2 other games too. Like
That's
those are the
4.
only 4 games they're winning.
Hey, Cody knows this. Gino can let it fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other team.
I saw Jets one said that Garrett Wilson finally has a true QB1, and I'm like, I can't even acknowledge this right now.
Don't let the Jets fans catch strays on here.
I know.
We didn't do anything to Jets fans.
Great.
There you go.
Boom.
There are people that agree with you in the comments, so congratulations.
I do want to give some shout outs to some of the comments that were in here. First off, Mama Shovik, thanks for joining the show. Supercharge was pretty active in there. Shout out to you. Also, shout out to Wayne, part of the Boom team. Wayne is also on the fantasy. Well, he was on the fantasy league, but he's on there. And then NY, I don't know if he's still watching or not, but he was hanging out in the comments. So Jason Colenso, fan of the show as well. So shout out. And Mike was also from Mile High Monster, was watching the show as well. So appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching. But Michael, how was it being in the war room? We weren't too hard on you, were we?
I mean, I thought Ethan was going to come with a little better takes, but it was fine. I forgive him, and I think the Shoviks
Better
are the only
takes.
one.
Whoa, you want me to get on a pedestal? The show's
Hey.
over, but we can come back.
Hey, I think the Shoviks are the only ones I didn't have to forgive, and they're Kansas fans. But no,
Yeah.
it was an absolute honor, guys. I really appreciate the invite and thinking so highly of me to welcome me on, talk about the Cowboys, and I had to defend Dallas.
There you go. Michael, it'd be an honor for us to allow you to plug your handles. How can they find Boom? How can they find you? Give you the floor, man, and Go ahead.
Yeah, so you can follow us on, the main socials. We're really active on Facebook and Instagram. That's where we like to promote the other shows. And I'll throw my links on there too, like the Defend Dallas, the Heat Talk. But I really want to put more of a spotlight on everybody else because they have done such a tremendous job. We, if I'm not mistaken, we have about 20 shows between YouTube and Spotify. Aaron Schneider does a great job with a live stream, The Gridiron Dress, on Sundays. He started a Carolina Panthers podcast on Spotify. Alex Wober and Andrew Garrett, they do an incredible job on the Seattle Spin. And we got the Seahawks with Hard Knocks this year. So they just dropped a reaction episode, and I'm not a Seahawks fan, and I love listening to it. You got Carson, who's coming up with Duke basketball and beyond here shortly. Chris DeLuca holds it down with baseball with Dugout Debrief, but he's not the one and only baseball podcast anymore. Cody, who had Drew Code Sports Talk, Drew Wright has Adios Pelota, which covers the San Francisco Giants. Esteban doing something that I used to do with my dad, having that fandom of the Cowboys. We did Dad and the Boys, but Esteban and his father do 210 on the Clock, a Spurs podcast. And then you got Sean, with the TV show review. It Stinks. You got Shannon with Quick Hits covering the WNBA. You got Luke with Motorsports Report. And he even covered my local hometown of North Wilkesboro a few weeks ago for that points race. And then Jason Colenso, who was in the comments earlier, doing NY Sports Live, doing 3 from Deep. He'll be doing a fantasy football show. It's amazing to see all these people thrive. And I didn't want to take too much time, but I tried not leaving anybody out because I'm just amazed at what they're doing. I'm thankful for Cody's behind the scenes work, even though he probably doesn't want the praise, but he needs to receive these words of affirmation because I could not do it alone, nor would I want to, because it's not as rewarding to do that. So yeah, go follow those shows on Spotify. You can subscribe to the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on YouTube, and it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. So if somehow this is your first time going on the West War Room Rivals YouTube channel, guess what? You can hit that subscribe button there too. Be generous.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out Michael for joining us, man. It was real. I've been really excited to get you on for a while since we've been doing this, and again, helping out behind the scenes with Boom, what you guys are doing, and expanding to Spotify. It's a huge testament to you and just being able to help guide these guys and create a really good atmosphere for them. And it's a good group of guys. So I encourage everyone to go check out Boom Broadcasting on YouTube. And like Michael said, while you're there, go ahead and subscribe to the West War Room Rivals. So I'll sign off from here. So shout out to JBW Solutions, Emporia State Federal Credit Union, Field Ops, Shovix, Ethan. Appreciate you guys for joining. We'll catch you guys next week for some more AFC West talk.